Hey, Empress Barbara here. Hope everybody is blessed. So I just want to do a little weekend reading, although the reading is timeless. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hit that notification bell so you'll be up to the time when the new videos drop. Also, check out the links in the description box for the Patreon. Come and join us for our audio book club. For extra content, we have sexy tarot down there, Reiki sessions, and just a nice little link up, great space. So I love to hope to see you there. So check out the Patreon. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. So let's get the vibe. What is going on for the weekend? So I was called to pick up my love activation deck. So I just want to have a look at what are the themes over this weekend. What are we likely to be discussing, viewing, feeling, thinking? What are the types of things we'll be engaging in over this weekend? I'll do a nice little one here and do an extended on Patreon. We'll have a look at what is going on with your partner and yourself or someone new. So let's see. Okay, so the first one we have is humility. You have developed a loving awareness that you and everyone else are the same but on different paths. So that understanding that you may end up having a different point of view from somebody, and you may end up having to be like, you know what, fair dues, I respect you and your views. You see things differently from me. You have a different kind of upbringing, or you've got a different culture in, and I'm just not going to get into it. I'm going to be him. I'm going to hold my humility. I'm going to believe what I believe. Also, give space for people to express themselves in the way that they see fit. But I'm also going to be mindful of the boundaries and recognize that, well, we are all the same. Although the goal to get to where we want to get is different. We all want peace and happiness, and we all want to feel fulfilled and to be prosperous. But the means to how we get there is different. So we may have to just kind of look at things in a more open way. So this kind of leans into a nice kind of energy where, get to learn things and gain a deeper understanding. So for some of you, you may end up speaking somewhere, going somewhere to listen to, different points of view. It could be, going to the theatre, watching a different kind of show that kind of deals with matters that you not necessarily privy to, or it's not something you had to encounter, or anything that you would think of to kind of like a resolve or what people are going through. So there is a bonding and a meeting of the minds, and I think that's where the common respect and the camaraderie comes. So if you end up going over the weekend, maybe chilling with people who you don't necessarily chill with, or someone new's entered the group, and there's this sort of I don't know what they're about, what's their standpoint. There will be a meeting of the minds, I can see, even if it's a thing where I respect you for your journey, because I recognize you're on your journey, although mine looks like this and my trajectory is here, and I'm going to go for a different route. So I think even if there is some turbulence, or there is some type of resistance to people around you and the things that they're doing and the way that they're doing them being different to yours, or the viewpoint being different to yours, maybe the beliefs are slightly different. We've got the Five of Cups here to clarify. And this energy of loss, this energy of grief, things seemingly to be, it's like that all is not lost. And I think that's kind of where it's coming at. It's almost like having that whole thing of, no matter what's happened, you're going to all right, you're strong enough to do this, you can bounce back. And I think there is this element where there was a little bit of care that needs to be taken. So yes, we can withstand things, but there are going to be some of us that are going through some real dark times, and although yes, they will have the strength to come out sometimes, they just need to sit with that for a bit, and then start to look at all the things that are going well, and then they can start being receptive to those things. Sometimes this lost energy can be quite thick, and I think the contrary, different paths of how we get to or how we go through things and bounce back from situations, and then we've got the King of Cups here. So that sort of emotions, recognizing that people are going to say and do things out of emotion. It might well be, it might well be that it's about sort of balancing that, recognizing what their role is in this scenario. Trying to find creative ways to connect with one another. We also have got house here. Clarification. Yeah, someone's really upset. There's a lost energy around. We've got the house under the 5 of Cups. So maybe you might be helping someone to move. Maybe they have lost their rights to a place, or their tenancies coming over. Or I can also see that maybe someone's moving. And there is a sadness about it, but there is a need to celebrate. So there could be a celebration. Someone might be throwing a house party. There may be talks around, moving, change. It could be, like I said, with this lost energy, maybe someone's lost something, a home or stability, some type of feeling like they belong. And I think maybe communication, being really open and balanced with the emotions, reading the room, reading the situations. You can see the concern here. So there is this concern for somebody's well-being, how they're doing. So you may be having some heart-to-hearts. You may be having some, conversations that spark a different kind of viewpoint. Oh, I didn't really see it like that. Oh, wow, I've never really thought of it that way, And I think that's where, when talking about you're developing a loving awareness, that you and everyone else are the same but on different paths. So yes, the aim is to be happy, is to be there, but there are things along the way that sometimes cause a rift. And I think sometimes the thing is, pull up your socks, man, don't worry, hush, don't cry, get on with it, you're strong, you can do this. And it's like, yeah, all that fighting talk's great. When I'm feeling this at the moment, I just, I can't hear that right now. So it's not that I'm totally disregarding you, but right now, that positive kind of spin right now is not where I need to be. I need to let it out. I need to allow myself to be open to my expression. And I think that will come in turn show, allow you that space to also kind of view things in a different way. Like, all right, cool. Maybe they just need a little bit more time. Maybe this is you need more time, and everyone sort of, got a different way of doing things, or they seem to snap out of things so much more quicker. We've got peacefulness. So you recognize that balance, kindness, and love brings calmness to your soul. So ultimately, you just want peace. You want peacefulness. You want things to be calm, and you want to be able to feel good, and to understand that, right, if I put out, the right type of karma, that's exactly what I'll get back. So I feel for some of you, this is going to be a chill one. You're going to be kind to yourself this weekend. For some of you, there is definitely an outside vibe going on. For some of you, it's chill and calm. You want to get things sorted out for the week ahead. You kind of just want to relax, not think about too much, but plan and be intentional about what it is that you want to see for the upcoming week. And allow yourself time. You've got the 8 of Pentacles. So that energy of, putting the ducks in a row, planning, doing hobbies, doing things that kind of enhance how you feel and what you're doing. So it might be a thing where you might be doing some arts and crafts this weekend. It might be some journaling. It might be some writing. You might be writing a short story. You could be planning your next move, your next content. So it's going to be some balance between, some of you might be, you know, grading papers, you know, just might be grading papers a bit early for that. Everyone's just kind of got back to school. But it might be whatever, lesson plans, whatever it is that you're doing. But there is a energy around planning, stability, wanting to kind of, you know, have that balance between the things that I enjoy doing and the things that are productive. I want to be peaceful doing it. I don't want to feel stressed. I want things to be calm. I want everybody who I come to contact with to have a calm disposition, be kind, be willing to move and to work a part of the team. You know, obviously we've got this energy where we've got the King of Swords, so this energy where you're direct, you want to get stuff done, you know, maybe those around you may need to kind of hear, I'm kind of busy doing this right now. I'll link you on the flip side. You're being quite focused and quite driven, but in a peaceful way. It's not a thing where you're busting a sweat. It's like calm productivity. And I really like that. Let me see what the Eight of Pentacles is here. Okay, so we've got imprisonment number 29. So I think, again, it's definitely around not feeling, you know, in a chokehold that you have to do anything that you don't want to do. You don't need to feel imprisoned by a specific routine. If you have time on your hands to do something different, then instead of maybe doing just the work focused stuff and then planning for your next content, but you know, you do things that are fun and alignment with yourself. Like I said, you do something creative, and also doing something creative also opens up, you know, your space for creating, you know, the creative juices start to flow, just to feel more able to respond to situations in a more varied and bold way, I would say, is what I'm hearing. So again, the King of Swords, and then we've got occupation. So again, some of you, this is the calm that you need. You want to work on your stuff. You know, you're working, you know, maybe, you know, you're planning lessons, you are sorting out contracts, you're dealing with, you know, vendors, you know, all kinds of things. So I see for some of you over the weekend, it's definitely a thing where you've got works going on, and you want to, yeah, spend some time just catching up, but in a nice chill way. It doesn't feel, it doesn't feel as though it's linked to any kind of stressful goings on. So going into what the extended will be tackling, we have the Hanged One, okay? And this is from the Erotic Tarot. So let's have a look at the Hanged One, which is Hanged Man in the traditional tarot. I'm new to these cards, so I'm having to actually read the definitions. But yeah, I'm actually enjoying learning them. Yeah, let's see what the Hanged One has to say. Okay, so the Hanged One, you see how she's hanging off the branch like that in an erotic fashion. So it says, so the image, elegantly bound yet outstretched and exposed, the Hanged One finds meaning in her unusual position. There is a discipline and a satisfaction in pushing yourself to your limits, even if it looks like suffering to those outside. Upside down, you discover your viewpoint and standards beyond the conventional or mere pleasure. The advice: a little teasing and frustration can yield great satisfaction and insight when you're finally relieved. Make sure you decide when it ends. So it's about this, you know, sacrifice, recognizing that you can have a sudden switch in what you're doing. So, like I said, with these cards, it makes sense because we have here the Eight of Pentacles and then the Nine, and then the King of Swords. You know, talking about not being rigid in how we're moving and what we're doing. However, allowing that space, you know, and then you've got the occupation, and there is this quiet calm that you want to get things done from that Eight of Pentacles and that focus from the King of Swords. So this Hanged One's talking about being able to discern when and how much effort you put into things, you know, recognizing what needs to be sacrificed. So maybe you're sacrificing a night out with the girls or the guys, and you were going to do some family stuff, and you're kind of saying, you know what, I actually want to spend some time at home doing the things that I want to do. So I like that. I also, what else is there? Then we'll look into, in the extended, we'll go into more about this card here, the Hanged One. We've got Temperance. We have Death card. So that's change, yeah. So we're looking at temperance, the balance of emotions. Again, going back to that, not overstretching things. Whereas that Hanged One was talking about, you know, not feeling nervous to kind of see where you can go, you know, reaching that limit. And then you've got the temperance, like I said, the balance, not trading too far to the left or the right, but also just finding a way of feeling comfortable in how you're doing things. The change that is on the horizon, the things that you recognize that need to get changed. And this could be, you know, within the relationship sphere, this could be within the sphere of family, friends. Maybe there is a shift that is taking place, and maybe it happens over this weekend. Possibly an encounter with someone who, you know, it's like, why am I going back here? I need to switch things up, you know. Hardly seem satisfied, you know, that two of Swords energy, you know, being kind of confused about how best to move forward, you know, maybe feeling as though, you know, you don't see the trajectory of how everything is going to go within your relationships right now, how best to sort of navigate boundaries, you know, and getting the best out of the scenario. And then we've got the Ace of Candles. So this energy where we can remember this. Yeah, it's sort of like almost, yeah, so it's like sort of recognizing that there is so many different ways of expressing and coming to a common ground. So again, it goes back to that humility again. You know, you have developed the loving awareness that you and everyone else are the same but on different paths. You know, wanting things to be peaceful, you know, but there being some stuff that are needing to get looked at. So I think maybe some heavier conversations, there's going to be some celebrations, maybe some moving in or people moving out, people wanting to celebrate because there is some type of loss, and they just want to have some kind of space to move around. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting for this part. Follow me over to the Patreon to have a look at more in depth of these cards and the relationships and what other energies is going on, because I feel like there was some spicy going on as well. So follow over to the Patreon to get the full extent of the reading. Take care. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and do check out the Patreon. We'll love to have you over. Listens.